Hello. Today we are doing this problem called verifying an alien dictionary. So the problem states that we have an alien language, basically, and it uses also English lowercase letters somehow. And the order, though, can be different, meaning that it's not necessarily A, B, C, D. It's another order. And so we get a sequence of words and written in this alien language, and we get the order also of the alphabet letters that we are using. That is different than the usual A, B, C, D, E, F order. And we want to return true if this sequence of word is lexicographically sorted in this alien language according to this alphabet order that we get. And so an example that we have here is hello and Leetcode. These are the sequence of words, and the order of the alphabet that we have is this one. And for this example, we return true because H comes first, then L comes after that. So already if we found the first letters of all the words are in order, then that's enough, basically. In this second example, though, we get word, and row. And so this is false because these are the same here, and these and row sorted also if you look at the alphabet, but D here comes after L. So these two words are not sorted, and so that returns false. And we have other examples here, but let's look at how we can solve this problem here. So the first method that we can think of is, let's say we have I'm thinking of a way that won't be a little bit confusing. So let's say, so the first thing we can do is construct a map that has, just to make things easier, construct a map that has the character in the order. So we will take the order and convert it to an order map so that the order map basically of a character give us its index, right? Its index in order, in the string order or the alien language alphabet, right? And so, so what do we need to do this? So let's first do that. Let's first just do the first piece, which is creating the order map. We can use Python notation, which says, so the character is the key and I is the index, and then the value here for the map. And these are in enumerate order, right? So let me just run this first on an example. So if I go here and let me open this. Let's say order is equal to, so order is equal to this string here. So this is our order. Now, if we take what we are doing here, what does this give us? So you can see it gives us the key, which is the character, and the value, which is the index. So this is the first step, just to be able to say if it's ordered or not. Another thing that we are going to use is, we want to go through each word. So the list may not be just 2 words. So we want to go through each one of them one by one, right? And so let me take this order, for example, right? And then I can take this list of words. And so one thing we can do, so you can see if I do this in Python, I get all except the first one. So if I zip these words with words except the first one, let me just put list so we can see. So it kind of gets me a pair of the first, each element and its next value. So I get word, and then word and row. So I can just inspect these two together, then these two together to see if they are sorted. And if each is sorted with the next, then basically what I have is sorted. So I'm going to do that here. And so we can say in zip of words and then words 1. And from this, I'm just going to go through each condition and handle it. So one of the conditions that I can think of is if the length of one word, remember this one occurs first. If a length of a word that occurs first is bigger than the length of the next one, so let's say I have A, B, C, and then I have A, B, C, so D, and then I have A, B, C. So this is not sorted anymore, right? But I could have, let's say, I'm taking here, suppose the order is the normal alphabet order, in this case, something like that. Now, if this is like B, C, D, and the other one is, let's say, I don't know, let's say D, E. So this is sorted because even though the length is bigger, this is sorted because these D appears after B, right? So another condition that I need here is it's not sorted only if like the second one is part of the first one, is a prefix of the first one. So in order to do that, I'm going to say if length of the second word, right, is equal to this, basically. So if this part here is equal to this, and the length of this one is bigger, that means it's not sorted. So we can make a decision right away. So we can just return false here. Another case that I can handle is, so now once we are going to do the same thing here for, so now I have two words. I need to compare them to see if they are sorted and do that with each two words. So to do that, I'm just going to get a character from each word. And to do that, I'm going to do the same thing, zip word 1 and word 2. So let's see, what would that look like? So if I have, let's say word 1 is word, and word 2 is equal to word. So if I zip word 1 and word 2, C list, that would give me the letters of each one zipped with the other. So you could see D with L, and that basically give me characters to compare. And so how can I compare this? So I have the map, so I'm just going to say order map of C1. So if the first one is bigger, the first character of the first word is bigger, which is, let's say, in this alphabet here, if I have DE and then I have here AB, then already I know if D is bigger than A, then this is not sorted. No need to check anymore, right? And not even if I had other words, no need to check them anymore because I already found two that are not sorted, right? So I can just say, if this is the case, then I can just return false right away and make a decision. So basically, whenever I can make a decision and just return the result, I do that. Now, how can we handle other cases? So one other case is these two are sorted. So this is less, right? So what this means is that we determined that these two words are like, so for example, let's say if I have AB and then C, D, something like this, and then other words. So if I find that A is less than C, I want to compare other letters to check if I can find one that doesn't verify the sort, because these two are sorted. So I can just break to check other words. I can't return true right away because there may be other words here that are not sorted. So I can break so that we can continue to the next words in this loop here. And now if our two loops here terminate and we didn't check any of these cases where it returns false, that means that it's sorted and we can return true. And so let's see here if this passes. Yeah, so Python true is uppercase T. Okay, so same thing, let's do with an empty list. Let's do with this case that we talked about. And then let's say our alphabet is this. Okay, so that's passing. Let's submit and see what we get. Okay, so it passes. Now another solution that we can do that is shorter is the following. So instead of going through this step by step, let me keep this one because I need it. Yeah. So one thing we can do is just collect the indices of all characters for all words and construct them as lists and compare these lists. So to do that, I'm going to calculate the word indices, right? So let's say this will be order of map, like this, of a character, and that character is in word, and the word is in the list of words, right? So let me take an example here. So let's say I have this here as words, and then our order is this. Okay. Now, what would be the order map? So the order map is what we saw earlier. It's just letter to value, right? And the word indices, let me show you the word indices. What would they look like? So word indices would be so it would be the index. So for example, this is the index of H in hello. This is the index of E in hello. This is the index of L in hello. And you get the idea. So all their indexes as lists. So now instead of, I can just compare the lists in the indices, since these are indices, they have to be sorted. And so that's easier in Python. So we can just say use all and compare each two words. So this is just happens to be a list of 2 words, but maybe there are more words. So we can just do the same zip and compare each 2 words. So let's say we want each first word to be less or equal than the next one. And these 2 are going to be just in zip of word indices, which is this one, and this one, so that we can compare each word with the next. And yeah, that's all we need. And all here just verify that this condition is valid for all of them. And so I'll submit this one, and that one passes. We can do an even simpler solution with Python here. So let's say I can just compare words, the original one with the one that is sorted by a special key. So that key would be, so basically sorted with the key would apply that key to get a list of values and then compare that these are sorted by that key, right? And so what we will do here is we will take lambda of word and we will just look up the index. That's the same, almost the same thing we did earlier for a character. That character is in word, right? So we construct the list and we sort the words by that list of indices, right? And we check that it's equal. What do we have? What's the problem here? Yeah, it should be equal, not assignment. And so that should pass. Yeah. This though, one thing you can notice that maybe there are a lot of duplicate letters, and so we don't want to each time go through order and find the index. So we can do what we did earlier by getting the list, the indexes, which is just for these are in enumerate of order, right? And we can take this order map here, and instead of doing this, we can just do that. And that's about it. And this solution passes. That's all for now. See you next time. Bye.